Gamma Phi is home. Like, everybody here is family.
I would not have learned unless I had other people to help me through it or just encourage me throughout everything.
The thrill keeps me going.
It was literally the best decision of my life.
These are my people.
It's Gamma Phi Circus that, for many of them, that even keeps them in college. The impact it has on students is just amazing. One of my students that graduated a few years ago, who has just this amazing job in the field of science, he told me if it wasn't for Gamma Phi Circus, he would have dropped out. Most of his family hasn't finished college, but it's what kept him coming. For others, it's what keeps them studying. If they want to participate, they have to have the grades. My name is Marcus Alwin. I'm the director of the Gamma Phi Circus here at Illinois State University. One of the things that I just love about circus across the board is it opens people's minds to endless possibilities. We spend our lives kind of learning limits, and circus just breaks right through those limits. They also find a home. They find a place where they feel welcomed. No matter what's going on campus, they feel like they're welcome here. Just innate in people, there's a desire to be part of something bigger than yourself. It just kind of speaks to that part of being human. My goal as director has always been, I want students to be better at whatever they choose to do once they get out of circus because of their time in circus. If they choose to be accountants, I want them to be a better accountant than they would otherwise. We do have several who have gone on to become lawyers, who have gone on to become doctors, many, many teachers. The analogy we've always used is college football team. There are usually going to be a few players that go on to the NFL, but it's not the expected norm. We get a few performing with Cirque du Soleil. We have them performing all over the country and the world. I want them to have learned life skills that will feed that and make them better at whatever they choose to do. As long as they're full-time, we're open for any ISU student, faculty, or staff. It's great when we have a gymnastics background, but I'm looking for athletic, coachable people. So whether their sport is soccer or softball or whatever it is, if you're athletic and you can follow instruction and are coachable, you can learn circus. Pop Horton, Clifford Pop Horton, was the founder of the Gamma Phi Circus in 1929. Bloomington Normal, where we're located, for many, many years, the trapeze capital of the world, we had a lot of circus artists that were here. Very quickly, we evolved from Gamma Phi gymnastics fraternity to Gamma Phi Circus, and we were able to really grow into a full circus program. I came to ISU to become a teacher, and I was hoping to play soccer. The year I got here was the year men's soccer ended on campus. And so I was just looking for something to keep me active, something to do. And a coworker was involved in the circus and got me to come to one of his shows. And I was at the next practice and I auditioned the next opportunity that was available and never really left circus after that. No gymnastics background, no dance background or anything like that. Most of the circus experience that I got came right here. Growing up, I remember seeing Circus of the Stars on TV and Emmanuel Lewis. My initial thought was I need to become a TV star so that I can do Circus of the Stars. It never dawned on me that joining a circus was even an option. I fell in love with circus the first time I walked into the gym. I just immediately felt almost like I was coming home to a home I didn't know I was missing. I found people who were open, encouraging, and welcoming, people doing things that I didn't know were humanly possible. I get emails and calls from students at universities every year who are from all over the country that are desperate to start a program like ours, but it's very difficult to get started. The infrastructure is difficult, the knowledge of safe rigging, and then getting administration on board with something that naturally lends people to think high risk. It's us and Florida State University are the two main college circuses like our program. Florida State was started in the 40s, I believe, right after World War II, and actually started by someone from this area, not a member of Gamma Phi Circus, but somebody who at least knew of our program and then went and started their program there. But I do think there's a lot of universities that are starting actual classes and programs in aerial arts and things like that. I know Colorado, there's a few on the East Coast. So those are popping up, but clubs like ours, those are difficult to do on our size and scale. We break our year into 3 main parts. We spend the first third of the year in recruitment and building mode to prepare students, one, to just bring them in the gym, let them see what we do, let them try the different things, and decide if this is something they want to pursue. We spend the next couple of months getting them ready for auditions, because an average student that we recruit off the quad is not going to know how to walk a tight wire. They're not going to necessarily be an acrobat. So we spend time building them up and training them to prepare them for auditions, which happen mid to late October. Then we spend the second third of the year, the rest of that semester, just skill building. And then we'll produce a show for faculty and staff and their families in December, a holiday show. It's a great opportunity for our newest performers to get out in front of a crowd for the first time, to see how a show runs. Then we'll spend the whole rest of that time until April, when our home show is, preparing for the home show. We'll have 15,000 in a weekend. We need to be ready. So we have 3 mandatory practices a week, and then we'll have 3 additional open gyms throughout the week that they can come in and work on whatever they want. We have students who have been here for 4 years, some even 5 years if they're here for graduate school, or a 5th year, that have been performing all of those years, honing their skills. And then we have brand new ones who just walked in the door. We try and spend the majority of the first part of the year, the first third of the year or so, focused on the newer students. A lot of the students will share the things that they have learned with the younger students, and they pass on a lot of knowledge. We'll do community events all over. We've traveled as far as Germany for Turnfest. The last few years we have gone to Viva Fest in Las Vegas, and that's always been a fantastic experience. And then aside from summer camps, we take the summers off. Yvonne Stoinev, who is our artistic director, has been able to provide many more opportunities for our students to have professional careers after this. When I was able to bring Yvonne in, I could see that we really made it to a new level. Yvonne fell in love with our program almost immediately. It reminded him of his childhood, is what he told me, because it was for the love of it. It wasn't for a job, it wasn't for money. And he saw that in our students. He saw that passion that he kind of missed from childhood. The Stoinevs have had a little bit of a legacy here now. The director before me, who is now working with Cirque du Soleil, he recruited Christian Stoinev, who is an amazing world-class hand balancer. Yvonne's lovely wife Maritza is working as an assistant coach with us, and now their youngest son, he broke a world record this year for the longest 5-club juggling at 46 minutes and change. I've seen him go over an hour, but we didn't get video evidence of it. Now, Pop Horton was around until the early 80s when he passed away. I never had the opportunity to meet him. He was director for many years, and then after retirement, he always came and watched every show. He loved this program and this organization. The building that we practice in is named for him. He's buried here locally, and so each year we pay tribute to him. We'll go out to his gravesite in between a couple of shows on our show weekend. We tell stories that we've heard through the years about him. He was an avid woodworker, he was an acrobat, he was an athlete. Everything I know of him, he was just a character. He was in his 70s and he had built scaffolding for his house. His wife came out and yelled at him for being outside up high, and he's too old for that. He said okay, and then he popped a handstand, and then he came down the ladder. I would have loved to have known him in person. I'm honored to be following in his footsteps and filling his shoes. We speak to Pop and we just tell him what circus means to us, this organization that he started, what it's done in our lives. So many amazing things have come from this program. Each year I hear heartbreaking stories from students, and I'm just amazed that the impact that Gamma Phi Circus has had on them. Students who are struggling with real serious issues. At Pop's grave, it's a time that I learn a lot about our students, because it's stories I haven't necessarily heard. They share very personal things at his gravesite. It locks the group even closer together. An already close-knit group becomes even tighter. Where I would like to see us go from here is for Gamma Phi Circus to be the thing that the university is recognized for, that Central Illinois is recognized for. We share a space right now with the women's gymnastics team, with cheerleading. We typically come in after them, and so we end up practicing from 6 till 10, 11 midnight. pretty regularly. Just an opportunity to really have a home that the students can come to even if it's not practice time. To do better at Viva Fest and other competitions across the world, to see Bloomington Normal be restored to its former glory of being a circus hub. We also have an amazing special collections in Milner Library. Without a doubt, it's within the top 5 collections in the world of circus memorabilia, and for the most part, it's just locked away. We have to take people in for tours. I would love to be able to combine with them and find a museum space, a practice space. That would be the dream. The students who are involved in the Gamma Phi Circus are here 100% because they love what they're doing. They don't get scholarship money, they don't get paid, they don't even get class credit. They're here because they love it. And so that's just a joy to work with students like that who are here dedicated simply for the love.